morning. I sat on a stool here. It almost reminded me of hopping on a horse. And I've done that, and I wasn't real good at it either. My daughter was, though. Anyway, hey, good morning. It's morning here. It's about 10 after 9. We've had rain. It's kind of foggy, but I think the sun's going to come out later. And we're going to have some fun today because I am not a list maker. I never have been. I'm not very good at planning things. I usually like to just jump right in. Now, if you've got an orchid, this would be a good time every time you repot it to make a note in a book, what it was, what pot it was, what date it was, any information that'll help you. Now, I have my YouTube videos, and you could have too. You know, you can get a YouTube video and you can keep it private and just send it to certain people, or you can join the group of us and visit back and forth and show pictures of your orchids. And it is a great way to keep track of how your orchid looked when you bought it, when you repotted it, when you checked it, and you can just talk and make a beautiful reference of all your orchids. That being said, I have the one that I'm going to put in the new traffic cone. I have 2 traffic cones behind me that I did, and a little one here. And I might even one day get some smaller ones from the dollar store and hang them from my pot rack. Maybe, because I know they like it. But let's get on with this. This morning after breakfast, I soaked the orchid that I am going to put in the pot. So, then I went on a hunt last night. We've had company and I've been busy, but I went on a hunt and I thought, well, I remember this orchid was out on the patio and I showed it in a video. Do you know how much time has passed? More than I thought. But every time I watered it, I smelled a funny smell. Plus, this is an orchid. This is my one that lost all its leaves but 2. The video of August 6, 2017, August 6, 2017, shows me on the patio with this orchid and how the leaves were going brown, and I ended up with just 2 leaves. Now, I hunted for when I first potted that orchid, but in the video I mentioned not long ago, so I'm thinking it was bought in late summer of 2017, and it was not looking good. So, we are going to discuss potting media, patience, and all kinds of things as we do this. So, this is one I thought would not live. So, I've been soaking it since I got up this morning. I just put some warm water in the fridge, and I've been soaking it because when I take it out, I want to make sure that I don't break any roots off, because there are some roots coming out of the pot and they're going to be fragile. Now, the reason I decided to do this one and put it in the cone, so this is the stand, as you know, okay, and it looks beautiful, but one good thing is I can take that stand and I can put it in front of any window. So anyway, I'll show you a close-up. Okay, this is the road cone. And in the bottom, you'll see just a piece of wire. It's wire I think they use for cement. Just a piece that's been bent. And it's standing about here so that all the bark doesn't go down. Now, We went a little lower with the holes than we did in the last one behind me. And I think that's good because not only will air come up here to the medium, it will also come in these holes and of course the ones where the bark are. So this is what we're going to put it in. It deserves it. It almost died. One day I was watering here and we have a toaster oven right near the sink and it was getting late and I was making lunch and it gets hot. So while it was soaking in the water, I noticed the leaf was against the oven, and when I felt the oven it was hot. And I gave it seems fine, thank goodness. It was there a few minutes. So anyway, we have the cone ready. I put these under the gas stove and heated them up, and I also rubbed with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, just kind of double cautious. I have some hydrogen peroxide ready that I attached a spray ball to. It works really good. And I have some cinnamon that I keep separately from my cooking cinnamon. Okay, now I know this is in flour, but it does have a smell. I want to get it in that pot. So no wonder it's been over 2 years. I haven't, bad girl, I haven't gone down and checked the media. I have not repotted it. So what happens when we change from any medium, be it moss to bark, bark to moss, any big change in substrate, the orchid has to grow new roots to suit that medium. Now, it's not just me saying that. There are 2 articles, one in the St. Augustine Orchid Society. It was written by Sue Bottom. You can look into that if you want. You just probably have to type in Orchid Root Sue Bottom, St. Augustine Orchid Society. So she says, I have to find the right, oh, here we go. Orchid roots become accustomed to their growing environment. Patience. When there is a substantial change in this environment, the plant has to grow a different set of roots to accommodate the new conditions. Now, this is one of the questions I get asked the most. You're worried, you've repotted your plant, you maybe went and checked it a couple months later, roots are dying. Oh no, the bark is killing it. I'm going to have to put it in something else. Another major change. Just be patient. Okay, it says it in this article, and this article is called First Raise, Roots and Culture. First Raise, Roots and Culture. I should show you, I don't know if that's showing up. Someday I'll show you. I have this great big binder. Whenever I've printed stuff since I first started, I've been adding. I got a whole book of important things. But okay, here we are with this article. A root cell, talking about a root, once grown, is apparently locked into the configuration that was appropriate at the time it grew, and it cannot change to accommodate a new environment. New cells must grow, new roots must grow, that are tuned to the new environment. That is why one may see the decomposition of the old root system if the plant is moved into a different culture, such as bark-based medium to semi-hydroponics, even that way. Any change. So, a change is important. Healthy roots, healthy plant. We want air to get to those roots. As the medium breaks down, less root is getting in, less air is getting in, and it will have trouble, and it will start to smell when you're watering it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this bark out of here before I dump it upside down. So, and you know, you've bought your orchid at the store, it's been in moss, it's been so compacted in the center especially, even though those roots might look half decent, they are already not doing their job. They can't, they're too compacted. When the use of moss is used, it has to be fluffy and airy. Why? Because they need air. So, I am going to carefully turn this upside down. I'm leaving the spike on. Oh, I have a clamp on here, you know. I maybe should take that off. Oop, that off. And clamp off. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab a good hold around the root system and the monopodial stem. And I'm going to turn it upside down. Maybe I should put the plug in the sink just in case, because Jack will be saying the sink's not draining. And those little rascals will go down the hole. There we go. Okay, here we go. Upside down. We're going to try and be very careful. There's a couple here I'm really worried about. Okay. This is how it looks, eh? Okay, there's some here. They're not clinging because they're against the... This one is the worst worry. Okay, just slowly let... Whoa, poor flower. It was in the sink. Things falling on it. Okay, here we go. I'm just kind of wiggling it around, wiggling it around. I think we're okay. Oh, I killed a flower. Hello, Bella. Okay. It's not too bad. I used, when I did this one, of course, now I've got medium bark. This was all large bark. Some of it has broken down, but it's not that bad. But like I say, I never went back and checked the roots when I repotted it, and it was dying, and finally I put it outside, away from the direct light, warm but air, and still light, but not direct light. And I'll just put that there for now. And we're going to try and get as much of this out of here as we can. There's some of the old roots that I've never taken out. But now if this was in a mossy, if this was in a wet substrate, these would have really rotted. And this is probably what I was smelling. I have a really sensitive nose. And I should have gone back. I go back usually, and there's some more. These are from the center of the orchid where they were probably compacted in the moss. Plus, they did have to regrow new roots for the substrate. And this plant was in a real bad way because it lost all of about 2 leaves. And then when the 3rd leaf finally came, it was very small, showing it was having trouble. So then we got 2. These came so big, they're floppy. You almost have to hold them up. So this is not, you know, the new roots are looking good. Let's see if we can get this closer. I want to clean it up really good. It's mostly the center where it was in the moss. The ones that have grown, and there's some nice new ones coming there. And over here, this is a new one coming. And this is the time of year. You know how you always read only repot when you see new growth? Because it's way less. Those new growths that are coming, they're going to grow accustomed to the new medium that you've put in. So that's why they say that. But they also say if it's in a bad way, flowers are not, the right time or not, repot. And whenever I buy an orchid from the store, I have learned over experience, ASP, repot. So I've got a sink full of water here where I was soaking it. I'm just going to give it a little rinse. I'm not too worried about, we'll see if these big pieces of bark decide to stay on those roots, I'm leaving them. Other than that, the new roots are looking pretty good. So I'll just soak this in a sink. I lost a flower. I feel bad. But anyway, it had to be done. I didn't know it had been that long. Boy, time flies. I don't know what they do, but as you get older, it's like the days go by quicker. I think they shorten them on us. Oh, there's a little piece of moss. That's not good. When you're cleaning your orchid, do not leave little pieces of moss behind. Okay, let's just move this right up here. See what I can find. I see new roots anyway, and I like that. There's another. This was right in the center. They go mucky. They're going acidic. So no wonder I had some little smells coming. But we do have some nice roots. We do have some nice roots. So be patient. If things look bad, just keep it clean. Leave it in the new bark you put it in. Don't panic. Be patient because it'll sort itself out and it will grow some new roots. What's up in here? Some places the bark is stuck and I don't want to injure. Oops, excuse me. Okay, what have we got? Oh, that was a little piece of, there was a time I tried some cocoa husk for humidity, and I think it was when this wasn't very happy, and I had added some on the top, and here's some of it for humidity. But sometimes this stuff, to me, I quit using it. I probably still have some out there. So most of these roots have come out of the center. And so spend a little time. Sometimes when I'm doing a video, I rush, and I shouldn't, because I should turn it off and join the video together, but oh, then we're getting difficult for me. Jack says it's easy, but I'm not a real computer person, believe it or not. I think we're pretty cleaned up. I see nothing too disastrous. I see a lot of nice healthy roots. Now, being I broke one flower off, oh, sometimes people say, what is scale? Now, let me see. There might be a little piece of scale right there. I see a little piece of scale. And I keep an eye out for them. Yeah, they sometimes hide right down in the crevices. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little spray of hydrogen peroxide, because this does not hurt any part of the plant. The bugs don't like it though. And just around the root system, I don't like to use cinnamon unless I have to. One reason I don't cut roots too often anymore, what I do is I just leave the filament and pull them off. So, you know, if you do get some scale, you just keep an eye on that plant and you can keep it pretty well under control. I haven't had any trouble, but once in a while I have so many plants, you might bring one in and the next thing you know, you got more of it. So, see, that will dissipate in the air and we're almost ready to put this in the pot. So, I'm going to give it one more soak. We'll see if it keeps its flowers. the last repot I did, it still has its flowers. It lost one of the first originals. So this is going to go in a brand new pot. Poor thing, I'm going to lay it down for a minute. I know, so I've been soaking bark, because I knew this would take more. 24 hours at least. I start out with warm water with my bark, and as you can see, this is the only size I can get here, but really at like a 40-liter bag for $30. You know, it's nice. And it will, because the smaller the bark, the more humid this will stay, which is probably a good thing here. So there, we have some bark in there. The air holes, the smaller the medium, the less air space. And that's why I water once a week. There was a time in the winter I gave the small ones a little more. They dry out faster. But these ones, once a week. Feel bad about that flower. So now, it's quite happy. There was a few that were sticking out of the hole. Now I can get them back in the hole. I think I will. That one will go there. Now I'm not changing medium. So even it's a smaller size bark, but I'm not changing medium. So there's no shock. This is the perfect time of the year. If you're new to orchids, you want to get an orchid, it's the perfect time of the year because the days are, at least here, maybe not in Australia, but the days are getting longer and warmer, and that is what sends out a signal for them to set out new growth. And that's what you want, especially when you're changing your medium. Now, I did this sooner because I did smell something. It's probably those roots I was smelling. Should have been done a lot sooner. Something else, I always plant, when I put them in a pot, I always have them higher in the pot. There's less chance of rot happening around your stem where the leaves all meet that monopodial stem because there's air there. And I have had good success with ones that are planted high in the pot. The other funny thing is, quite often you read where they say, oh boy, make sure there's no air holes. And you can look in the holes of some of my pots and you'll see air holes and you'll see nice healthy roots in there too. So, I don't know. We all learn different things, we all adjust, but I say the most important thing is going to be patience because they're slow growers. What happened to them today might not show up for a month or two. So, and after changing the medium and repotting it, give it like, don't panic, you know, give it a couple months. The bark has to be soaked because it is so dry, it won't absorb any water. So when you water, your orchid will go right through. Therefore, it will stay dry longer. Bigger pots, not as a problem. Smaller pots, maybe. I still like to water once a week, but sometimes you can give them a little extra. Aerial roots are awesome. This one doesn't have any, they're all in the ground. Might get some this year. It's struggled. This is one of the ones some people would have threw out. Now, 2017, the late summer to now 19. So I've been patient, then it rewarded me. And you know, so often everybody says, why do people keep buying orchids? And then they buy more. Well, it's the reward. You show your love to that plant. You love it because it's beautiful. it shows its love back by giving you more beautiful flowers. And you look at them and you're like, you've been part of creation. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's a mothering. Anytime you're looking after a person, a pet, a plant, it's very healthy for you to be thinking of something other than yourselves. So it's very, very good for you also. So there. So it's in its pot. I did get one sticking back out that was out, and it's in its pot. Now I'm going to put it in its, I have to get a little drip tray. I always use a drip tray. There. I'll put a spike on it. I put its clamp back on after. Sorry we lost one bloom. I'll float it in some water. It's so beautiful. It's been through so much. Yeah. So that's it for today. I'll show you a close-up of these ones before we go out. I don't think, well, I might do a quick tour. I'll try and walk slow but quick. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being like, we used to call them pen pals, but thanks for being my pen pal, because I'm enjoying it a lot and I'm learning, and everybody shares their advice. And if you live near enough to me and you're having trouble with an orchid, send me a comment. You know, maybe you can come visit and we could do a video. So thanks again. Short video coming attached. Here we go. Okay. All right. I should show the messy stuff that came out. I just have to put the legs of this thing up. Okay, here we go. This is a tripod that sits on the counter, and I pull the legs out and getting them back in. So this is a close-up of what I took out here, and we'll go on the other side. Okay. As we go over there, I'll show you the window. Whoops. I'm on a funny angle trying to get the sink. Okay. We still have orchids in bloom. This is from the end of December. New roots coming. I love to see new roots coming. Oops. Okay, Moon Glow has 9 blossoms, and the 10th one is hiding in here. It's still been going. You can see it's going to open. This has been going since the end of December. It's really happy. Let's see if I can get around here. There's another bud coming. That'll be 10. And down here, inside the pot, lots of nice roots. Aerial holes. Yeah, it's coming good. And down here, these are beautiful. Trying to get them all. Thanks. Okay. These are all from December, so they're doing really good. We should be getting quite a spell out of them. Okay, I'm going to turn around.
Hey, Mom.
And
I think she's done.
not quite. Alrighty. A big discussion going on. I think someone's waiting for me. Okay. Close up. This is our orchid we put in. And here's the pot. Sorry if I move fast there. Jack painted a little bit of gold on the bottom, right in there. One day we're sitting having our lunch and he said, I painted something. And I had to guess what it was, and then I noticed it. So I put pink orchids on the pot when I painted it because I thought that would go nice with the flowers. And I'm sorry we lost one. And we'll see how it does after that. And of course, here's my white one. Just beautiful. They love the road cones. Okay, one quick trip into the other room. So I think I'm needed somewhere. Okay. This is the last repot I did. It lost one flower. The rest are still doing good. And the little slipper orchid, it's still, I don't know if it will actually amount to anything. We're still waiting. So, and this is the nursing corner. Yeah, some more. So anyway, that's it for today. Sorry to rush out on you, but I have some other things to do. Bye now.